Discipline is a decision. Discipline is a decision. It is not something that you build up. It is not something that you really get yourself in a space to finally do something. It's just a choice. It's just a choice. And so when you look at people that are successful in their lives, that accomplish great things, that do the things that light them up, it's because they decide to do it. They make the decision to be disciplined. For a very long time, I've done great things in my life, but I always knew that there was another aspect of me, another level, another potential that I wasn't tapping into. And I knew my biggest challenge as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as a human being is discipline. I'm not as disciplined as I want to be. And this big realization happened just in the past few weeks. As much as I've created and done things with my life, I know that I'm capable of so much more if I made the decision to be disciplined. And so I've been watching and listening to a lot of entrepreneurs, to a lot of personal growth, a lot of self-development. And there's so many different frameworks, so much research done, so many psychological studies, just so many stories of people that have overcome incredible challenges. And the two things that I realized, and I'll share this with you today, is one, they made a decision. They made a decision to change their lives. They made a decision to change the way that they thought about their situation, to change the way that they thought about themselves, to change the way that they operated in the world. And so discipline is not something you develop. It is just something you do. You do discipline. You decide to be disciplined and then you do it. You figure out what it is you want and then you take the actions to go get what you want. Very simple. For anything that you want to achieve in your life, for any accomplishment, any goal, any desire, you have to put in the work. It's not going to happen automatically. It doesn't just fall into your lap. And this is the human struggle. This is the challenge that we all face. The challenge of where we are today and who we want to be in the future. For some of you, it's going to be a long, hard, challenging journey, but you're going to do it. For many of you, the thing you're going to lack is discipline. And that's the honest truth. Even for me, I'm calling myself out. I know that in order to reach another level of success, I need to get crazy consistent. I need to get crazy obsessed with this mission of inspiring you, inspiring people, inspiring others to reach a greater potential. And so I'm raising my hand to do that. I want to do that for the rest of my life until my last breath, is to choose to be disciplined and to take the actions that are going to help me get to where I want to be. I'll give you a brief story of what I recently decided to do. I went through a health challenge last year, but this year I'm like, okay, what can I do that's going to be simple enough for me to get back into my health and wellness? And, all of us know January 1st, many people in the world say, I'm going to get healthy this year. And then it starts to die down around February. But here's the thing. Putting on the tennis shoes and going out for a walk or run, it's just a decision. And a few days ago, I told myself, all right, when I get home, I'm just going to put on my shoes and go for a run. I could have said, when I get home, I'm going to, check email, maybe clean up the kitchen, do a few things first, and then I'll run, kind of giving myself that time to think about if I want to run or not. And it is that decision to think differently about, or not to think differently, to distract yourself from what it is you actually need to do to get to where you want to be. And all of those distractions, all of those excuses, all of those moments where you get, your mind just redirects to another thing that's shining over there, something that's pinging over there, it distracts you from becoming your best self. And a lot of my work has been around like, what does it take to really live your best life, to be your best self, to reach your potential? And what I've, come down to, I mean, there's so much research around this and so many stories, but it really is just a decision to do the work. And then second, to actually do the work, to take the steps, to save the money, to go on those date nights, to build those relationships. It's all work. Life is it's not like one big task. Life is this complex, beautiful, dynamic, dance of figuring out what's going to work for you now, figuring out what's going to make you thrive, figuring out what's going to bring you joy. We're going to hit plateaus. We're going to hit roadblocks. Like, it's going to happen. But then if you have the discipline to push through anyways, if you have the discipline to continue doing the work that's going to be required of you to get to the next level, you're going to get to the next level. There's this concept of deliberate practice, the 10,000 hours of practicing a certain skill, practicing or doing a certain task, and practice, right? If you're a kid of the 80s, that's what we were like bombarded with, is when you practice makes perfect. But I like to say practice gets you to where you want to go faster because you're practicing it. So what are you deciding to be disciplined in? What are you going to do? What is your goal? Write that down. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Second, what do you need to do? What are the actions, the specific actions that you need to take in order to get to your goal? What are the specific actions you need to take in order to get to your goal? For the folks that are entrepreneurs in here, watching, listening, oftentimes we get distracted by a lot of different things, a lot of opportunities. But when it comes down to it, you started a business because you wanted to be your own boss. You wanted to make your own money. You wanted to live the dream. You wanted to have your own schedule. And so what is it for you that's going to drive business? What is that one task that you must be disciplined in doing every single day in order to get more business? For the moms and the dads out there, I feel you. It's hard, raising kids, not knowing what they're going to, how they're going to come home, the emotional roller coaster. But how do you need to show up? What do you need to decide, or who do you need to decide to be in order to be the best for your kids? In order to be the best for yourself, what do you need to decide to do, decide to be and decide to do every day so then you can be a solid role model for your kids? Does that mean creating systems in your house that really work for everybody so everyone is on the same page? Does that mean consistent connection time every day? Really looking at your kids in the eyes and asking them, tell me about your day. How's it going? Do you want to go for a walk? Very simple things. These small disciplines over time, they add up. They add up. I remember reading from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this concept of, I might get this a little bit wrong, but this concept of, we all have these accounts with people. Think of your relationship with all the people that that are in your family, that are at your work. We all have these relationships. And every time you make that deposit of showing kindness, showing love, just being a good person to them, that adds up over time. That adds up over time. And so the question is, how disciplined are you in being and showing up as your best self every day? How disciplined are you? And if you feel like you're not that disciplined, don't worry. This is no judgment. We're all human. We all have our challenges and our obstacles, and life can throw us curveballs. But here's the one thing that I want you to get out of this talk is that when you choose to get serious about your dreams, when you choose to get serious about becoming your best, when you choose that, when you choose to be disciplined, your life, your results, the outcomes, it'll just be a natural thing that happens because you're just being the person you want to be. You're being that person that's a little bit, that you're pushing yourself every day a little bit more, a little bit more. And every single day that you push yourself a little bit more, you end up, 6 months out, 1 year out, 5 years out, completely different person because you were consciously choosing to be better, consciously choosing to rise up, consciously choosing to be disciplined and to do the work. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you connect with me. Go to my website, www.domnarciso.com. Make sure you sign up for my weekly newsletters. I want to inspire you. I want to help you. I want to teach you. I want to guide you. I want to give you my energy. This positive energy, it's only here because I know that it's helping someone. And when I get a DM, if you don't mind, DM me on Instagram. Let me know how this fired you up or what it made you realize that you had to do differently. When I'm doing this work and I'm fired up and I know, like within my body, my mind, my whole entire soul, that this is going to help someone out there, it makes me feel fulfilled. And it makes me feel like my purpose on this planet is to help others and inspire others and connect with others and let you know that whatever you're struggling with, whatever it is, or whatever dream you have, it's possible. But you got to decide to do it. Decide to do the work. Decide to be that person. Just own it. All right, everyone. Have a great and awesome week. Remember to be bold, be positive, and take action every day.